I'm so tempted to just click buy now. Hello friends, please excuse the lack of lighting, and if you can hear fan sounds, I am so sorry. It is boiling here today. I think it's meant to be like 35, 37 degrees. But I still need to put out a video. So we're gonna be doing a fairly chill one. And this is one that I actually see a lot more often in sort of like the fashion lifestyle niche. I've never really seen it done for the plant niche before, but I figured I'd bring it over. Basically, I'm going to be sharing with y'all things in the last month that I have wanted to buy, nearly bought, like have been on my wish list that I was like so tempted to click the like buy now button, but didn't. I restrained myself, and I'm going to be talking about why I didn't buy them, whether I figured that it wouldn't suit my space, or that it was just a little bit too expensive, or I don't know. There's a myriad of reasons why I didn't buy these things, but I figured it's kind of like a wish list video, because like there's still some things in here that I would like absolutely like to get one day down the line, but maybe not right this second. Also, I should say, it's not that I'm on a plant no buy either. I am being fairly strict with it and only buying things that I feel like I really want, or like I might replace a plant that didn't do so well in my home. But I'm not on a full no buy, but I'm not on like a spending spree, if that makes sense. I'm closer to the no buy zone. So it's not that I don't feel like I can buy these things, because I feel like I totally could, and I have no problem with spending that money, but like, I think it's just for the best that I haven't. So I've got my list here on my phone, and there's some plants on it, there's some planty things on it, accessories, merch, all of these sort of things that, I don't know, I was just tempted to buy within the sort of general plant hobby. Before I get into that though, I want to say if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet, so if you want to follow along with my houseplanty journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If you are not new here, welcome back. I really appreciate you returning. Now, let's get into this list. The first thing that I was tempted to buy in the last month and didn't was some begonias from Begonia Addict on Instagram. Oh my goodness. This woman, the number of begonias she has and the like coolness of them, top tier. I think I'm pretty much always tempted to buy plants from her. She basically hybridizes loads of begonias and sells them on Etsy, eBay, Instagram, etc. And they are always so freaking beautiful. Like, look at this. What is not to love about this? I know this was like a surprise hybrid that she wasn't expecting, but it's like black and it's got the cool edge, and I am just absolutely obsessed, and I want it in my home. I want it so badly. The other one that really got me was the Begonia foliosa. It looks so different to like what I think a begonia looks like, with those like little tiny leaves. It's got lots of little tiny leaves. It almost looks like a fern. It's so cool, and it's so unexpected and so different that I just really want to try it. And the reason I haven't bought these is just because I've been away so much in June with Gardener's World Live. I'm going away this coming weekend. Like, I just didn't want to be getting a new plant and then immediately just like leaving, because especially right after plants have been shipped and they're new and they're acclimating to your home, it can be a little bit of like extra stress, and I want to be around for that stress as opposed to like getting it and then just like disappearing, because then I can't really react if something was to go wrong. Also, in general, I have this like tendency, because begonias are a plant that I am exploring a lot more at the minute, I have this tendency to like want to buy every single one and try all of them, and that's something I'm trying to like push past a little bit. And I'm not saying that I'm never gonna get these begonias, because I think they're gorgeous and I would really love to try them at some point, I think. But like, I think I'm trying to be a little bit more critical about my purchasing of plants that I'm like obsessed with the genus at the moment, because I've done it so many times where I've just bought, like, I think Syngoniums was a big example for me, and I just like, I don't have any Syngoniums anymore. I've got the chipettes, but that's it. I just spent so much time amassing as many Syngoniums as I possibly could have, and I don't even like them. And I don't think that would be the case with begonias, because I have so many in my collection that I genuinely really, really love. But I'm like trying to be chill about it and like not just like rush into things. These next couple I've been seeing on Instagram ads constantly. I am so tempted to get them. The first one being these like chain plant hangers. I think the brand is called Wool Jam. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation. That's how it's spelled, so phonetically. But I think it's an Australian company, but they make the coolest plant hangers I think I've ever seen. Because I feel like, in general, plant hangers, they tend to be more on like the boho vibe. You see loads of like macrame ones and like ones with natural fibers and ropes. But like something about the acrylic chain on here, I want it so bad. And they come in like so many different colors as well, and I feel like it'd be a really cool way to add color to the collection. I know I am very like minimalist in my pot style. I mostly have black, white, and gray pots because I want the plants to do the talking, but I feel like it would be a really nice focal point. Like, part of me is really tempted to like go get the bright pink one. I feel like it'd be very strange for me and like almost out of character, but like I'm tempted. I'm also very tempted by the clear one, the clear acrylic one. I think that's so cool, as well as like the black one, because y'all know me, I like black. And so I am just like, whenever I see this ad pop up, I am so tempted to get my hands on one. I don't think they're incredibly expensive. They're only £25. Oh, maybe that's a gift I could get myself for my birthday, because my birthday just passed. See, like, I'm just convincing myself to buy it now. I've like made such a big deal about how I didn't buy it this month, and I'm just like, but I really want it. I don't know. I think they're really cool. I think they're fun and different and funky, and you can get like whatever color you would want to match your space. I'm pretty positive that one day I will have at least one of these in my house. I like how chunky it is as well. Like, it's not minimalist. I like the chunk on it. Maybe I'll have to wait until the 1st of July and then buy myself one, otherwise I'll feel so guilty about making that or including it in this video. But I really like them. Gosh, I'm just convincing myself to buy things here. No, Emma, stay strong. The other one that I've been seeing loads of Instagram ads for the past like several months, I think probably at least 6-7 months, is the Plant Cam, which is this time-lapse camera essentially that you can like point at your plants and it'll take a picture every 10 minutes for however long you set it up. And it kind of acts as like a live feed as well. So if I went away, I could keep an eye on my plants like through the camera because it's taking pictures every 10 minutes. But also it creates these beautiful time lapses, and you can get time lapses of watching leaves come in or flowers bloom or just seeing how plants move during the day. I think that is so freaking cool. I love a good time lapse, and like people who do good time lapses, they're amazing. I think the only thing that stopped me from getting this for myself is that like the quality isn't insane. I think it's like a 5 megapixel camera or something. It's not like crazy. And I wonder if I could set it up, because I have a photography background, with like good lighting and whatnot, if I could set it up in a way that made it look really clear and crisp. But all of the time lapses I've seen from them, I don't know, they're just not like full HD high res, which is what I would want out of a time lapse coming from myself. I feel like anybody else, people who don't make content as like their job, would be absolutely fine with it. But for me and my purposes, I feel like I would just need something a little bit more high def. But they are so cool. Like, I want to make a time lapse of a leaf coming in so badly. I think that would be so awesome. Or like Hoya blooms popping. The little, That would be the most satisfying thing ever. And I've done like a time lapse of that before, where I like set my camera up overnight or whatever and had it capture that. And it was so much work to like set it all up and like make sure everything was fine. So like having a camera like this would make it so much easier because you just put it there. I don't know, it's very, very tempting. I think I'm just gonna have to keep my eye on it and see if they ever make one that's a little bit fancy, or I could just like buy a fancier time-lapse camera. But that would be so expensive. I mean, it is a little bit more on the expensive side. It's 109 pounds for one camera, but like that's the cost of a camera. Cameras are just expensive. Photography equipment is expensive. And so I don't think it's that unreasonable. And especially since I'm pretty sure you get like an app that does the time-lapse thing for you as well. It would be really cool. I think I would really like one. Again, it's a one-day purchase. Maybe once they've gotten like a little bit more high-tech advanced. Because I do love a time-lapse. Who doesn't love a time-lapse of a leaf coming in? I also went to Gardener's World Live this past weekend. That's where I was when I was away and like didn't want to leave new begonias. What can I say? Things are tempting in real life in person. I feel like I have a pretty good ability to not impulsively buy stuff on the internet, but impulsively buying things in real life is a whole heck of a lot harder. When it's in front of you and you get it immediately, it was difficult. So there were 4 main things that I was like super, super tempted to get that I like had to like really talk myself out of spending the money on. And like I said, it's not that I don't want to spend the money, it's that I'm trying to be good. So first up was the Oscar and Digby bookends. If you're not familiar with Oscar and Digby, they make these really cool bamboo propagation stations. I have one and it is really, really cool and like so sleek and beautiful. They make propagation bookends. Who doesn't want, like, I love books and I love plants. This is like the perfect combination of having my books and my plants displayed in one place. I think it would be so, so cool. I can just like put a propagation next to my books. I love it. I love the idea. It's like literally taking 2 of my favorite things, jamming it together. I was so, so tempted. I'm pretty sure this was 30 something, 38 pounds. Again, I feel like this is something that I will get one day. Maybe I'll pop it on my Christmas wish list down like come December, because I feel like it would be like the perfect gift for someone who likes plants and books. And then of course there were a couple of plants that I saw that I really wanted. In general, the plant selection wasn't like insane. It was a lot of fairly common things that I have in my collection already, which is completely normal for a non like rare plant show. The one thing that I saw in like the main houseplant section that like I had my eye on that I've never tried before that just like drew me in was the Labisia turtleback. I know it, like Claire's had one before. I don't think I've seen it in person in full glory, but like the ones at the show were amazing. Some had leaves literally this big, and with that like texture and like the black top, the turtle looking leaves. I've also heard that they're not like super duper difficult care wise, which is a plus, but I think what stopped me with like automatically getting one is just, one, I'd have to transport it home on the train and I didn't really have a good way to do that, but also I'm trying really hard to not add new plants to my collection without doing research on them first, because I have no idea what the Labisia turtleback needs care-wise. Not a clue. I couldn't tell you. I can make educated guesses, probably bright indirect light. It probably likes to stay like medium moist. I could probably treat it like most of my other plants and it would probably be okay, but I'd rather do the research on the plant first and make an informed decision about whether or not it would work for my collection than just like going straight in with it. Also, I don't really have loads of space at the minute for that sort of medium-sized plant in my home. I feel like I've got loads of room, not like loads, but I've got a decent amount of room for small things that I could put in my IKEA cabinet. But it's that medium-sized plant where I just don't have that much shelf space at the minute. I feel like I have made the right decision on that one. Again, it's one that I'm not saying I'm never gonna get. I'd be really tempted to try one in the future, but as of right now, I'm proud of myself for not just like immediately buying it. So not in the houseplanty section, but actually in the floral marquee, Equigenera was at Gardener's World Live. And if you're a planty person, you know Equigenera. They have so many beautiful, gorgeous, especially like anthuriums and philodendrons. I feel like those are their, I mean, obviously the orchids. I think they were in the orchid section of the show because they have amazing orchids. Not really my jam personally, but like I can appreciate it. But they had a section of anthuriums and philodendrons, like aroids, and there was some tempting things in there. The thing that tempted me the most was a philodendron distantilobum. I had literally never seen this type of philodendron before, ever. Like, not even on Instagram. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'd seen it, but like I hadn't recognized it. I'd never like clocked it before. In this packet, it looks so, so cool. It kind of looks like a combination of the fernleaf cactus and a Hoya polyneura in the sort of shape and like how the leaves grow. Like the cool like lobing of the leaves. I find that so, so interesting. And on a philodendron, it's like, I've not really seen a philodendron like that before. I know like there's loby philodendrons out there, like the Florida and the however you pronounce it. There's loby philodendrons out there, and I've somewhat tried them in the past, but something about this leaf shape in the packet really, really tempted me. I was really hoping that it would sort of hang down similar to the fern leaf and have that sort of like cascading lobiness. I thought that would be really, really cool. I am so glad I didn't buy this one. One, because philodendrons aren't necessarily my favorite at this current moment, but two, because I have looked up pictures now and I don't think this one would actually be for me. I think in the bag, when it was like sort of flat packed kind of, I couldn't open the bags at the top either, so I couldn't like pull it out and look at it. I'm sure if I asked, they might have let me, but like I didn't want to impose. I don't actually like the shape of the plant all that much. It looks like a sort of philodendron that would absolutely need a pole to grow and keep looking nice, but it's also one that ends up taking up a lot of space, both vertically and horizontally, and like kind of sticks out weird. And I can imagine it being extremely difficult to photograph well because of the like form of it. It's that classic philodendron, like climbing philodendron form where it just kind of is a bit awkward. And I don't think I have the space for it in my home. And I also just don't think I would end up liking its growing pattern as much because it's, it just has that form that I have experienced before in philodendrons, and I don't really end up liking it. I don't think they end up growing that well for me. And so like, I was so tempted to just buy it then and there. I think it was only like 35 pounds for something I'd never heard of or seen before. I'd say that's a good shout. Why not try it? I'm glad I didn't. I'm never gonna say never, because maybe down the line, if I have more space or if I like get back into those sort of philodendrons, I could give it a go. But where I am in my collecting journey right now, I don't think it would fit in to like how I am growing my plants in my collection. So glad I didn't get it, but it was beautiful in that package. Like, tell me it doesn't look like a sort of plant that I would like. It absolutely does. Also in the floral marquee, there was this guy who makes these like tabletop terrariums. I think his handle is Cloudscaper. I think he's a new business, but the most beautiful planted out mini world terrariums. They're not like the jar terrariums where it's just kind of like flat and you get plants in it. Like, those are cool. I've had those before. I like them, but it was like more natural looking. It's like a whole landscape sort of thing. They were stunning. I loved them so, so much. They were planted out with moss and they got sticks, and I'm pretty sure some like small orchids. I think they would look so, so nice, like sitting on a counter, or like the tiny one, which is honestly my favorite because it was so cute. I think it would look so good just sitting underneath my TV in my living room. I think it'd be so cool there. I think, however, though, I would prefer to have the like thing somewhat set up and then me plant things in it myself, because I'd want to pick what plants go in. Orchids are fine. They're not necessarily my cup of tea, but like I'd love to plant it out with some like little begonias or some Philodendron. Like there's lots of really cool things that I could put inside this terrarium. I also really liked that they were like front opening. They were kind of like mini greenhouse cabinets. Like, you know when people convert their greenhouse cabinets into full terrarium scaped things? They were kind of like that, but like mini, and like they could sit on the side. And I really, really, really liked that. The medium-sized one was also gorgeous. I mean, they were all really beautiful, obviously. It's not a surprise. They were at a gardening show. Makes sense. But I just thought that they would be absolutely perfect in my home. The only thing is that they were on the expensive side. Obviously, it makes sense. This person's put loads of hard work into like scaping them and like getting the box and all that stuff. That costs money and takes time, and so I understand the pricing on these. I have no problem with those pricing based off of the work that needs to be done. It's just a little bit out of my personal budget, and I almost feel like I could DIY something like that. Not necessarily for less money, because it probably would end up costing about the same, but I could probably DIY something like that and not necessarily love it more, but like that it would be mine, if that makes sense. I could pick what goes in it. So it was really tempting. I did really like them. It would have looked so good just bringing home a little terrarium. Like, the little one was this big. It was gonna be perfect. But I passed. I also, like, again, didn't have an easy way to bring it home on the train. It would have been so heavy and like so clunky and awkward. Not necessarily my cup of tea. If I had a car, maybe. But on the train, I don't want to be carrying like a full-size terrarium. No, thank you. And then the last thing on my list of things that I didn't buy this month is merch. I am always looking at plant merch just because, I mean, most of my clothes are plant merch. Literally, I've got a shirt that says Houseplants on it right now, given I made this one. Y'all know my favorite, Tropics Narcotics. They are constantly putting out cool new designs, and I'm obsessed with them. So they very recently put out a Monstera Compacta shirt with a skull and the eyes are glowing. I want it so badly. I think it's so cool. It's right up my alley. I'm obsessed. And then they also recently put out one with a design on the back that says Tropics Narcotics High on Nature, with a snake and some like philodendrons and alocasias. Again, I want it so badly. They're so, so cool. And like, I have so many of their shirts. They've designed some merch for me as well in the past. I love them, and I'm always going to support them as a business. I just can't justify continuing to buy more black planty shirts. I love them. I will wear them every freaking day, all the time. I'm almost exclusively wear my Tropics Narcotic stuff, but like, do I need another one? No. They are 35 pounds as well, which isn't necessarily cheap for a t-shirt. Obviously, I've paid it before and I will pay it again because I love supporting small creators, and like, this is exactly my vibe. Also, I'm pretty sure I've got a discount code with them. This isn't an ad or anything, but I'm pretty sure I do. So if you want to use my code, I'll pop it down in the description, because why not get yourself 10% off? But I just think they're really beautiful and like fun and badass, and I want them all. These two specifically that just came out. I'm so tempted to just click buy now. Again, I think this one might be like 1st of July. Ding! No, I'm gonna try and be good and wait a little bit longer, because I don't need one right this second, but I really love them. And at some point, again, I think this is something that I will end up getting. It just isn't in the cards for me right this second. there we go. Those are all the things that I didn't buy this month, but I really, really wanted to. I hope you enjoyed this type of video. Let me know if you did, because I could kind of make this a somewhat regular series as well. I can collect these things for like maybe a quarter, or if I have a really busy wanting month, a month. Let me know, because I think it's really interesting to hear the perspectives on why people do or don't buy things, especially within the plant world. And so why not share this information with you, as well as like kind of share what's on my wish list and what I've like got my mind and my eye on out there, because there's some really cool things. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future. Also, I'd be curious to hear if there's anything that you were really tempted to buy this month that you didn't, plant-wise, plant accessory-wise, plant merch-wise, whatever. Let me know down below and subscribe for more. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to keep growing. Bye!